Hi everyone, I am E.A.T.D. Edirisinghe from the Department of Computing and Information Systems at Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka. And I'm excited to share our research titled AI Enhanced Counseling for Undergraduates, a novel application of machine learning for personality matching and stress assessment. So, this study is focused on addressing student mental health challenges using artificial intelligence in a way that will enhance the traditional face to face counseling rather than replacing it. Moving on, here's what I'll be covering today through this presentation. So we'll begin with an overview of the problem and background in the introduction. Then we'll look at the previous research in the literature review. Next, I'll walk you through the research objectives. And then after that, we'll dive into the methodology of the study, followed up with the results that we got through this study. And then finally, the discussion, future works, and followed by the references. So, mental health is a growing concern among university students, especially in Sri Lanka. Research shows that around 3% of the students don't complete their degrees on time because of stress. Unfortunately, the traditional counseling services often fall short due to limited availability or because mismatches between the personalities of the counselor and the students, and also the students' stigma in seeking help and their fear of being judged, or that the fear that they don't feel like the counselor would understand them, like that, and also the absence of a proper modern way that can encourage the students to seek help. So therefore, considering all of these things, it is a timely need for a proper modern approach that can encourage the students to seek help, which can also be considered as a societal need. So, to tackle these issues that I mentioned, we have developed an AI enhanced counseling system, and it includes two major features. So, the study is based on this proposed solution. And first, it is matching the students with the counselors based on their personality traits to improve the connection and the comfort between the counselor and the student. And second, the system will also assess the student's stress levels before the session, which can help the counselors prepare in advance for the counseling session. So the goal here is to blend technology with the traditional face-to-face counseling approach, making counseling more effective and approachable. So this slide presents the systematic process we used to review the literature. So we began by collecting 198 publications from different major databases like IEEE Explore, Science Direct, ResearchGate, then ASIM Digital Library, Antale and Francis, and also Springer. In stage one, so we applied the initial filters based on the title, abstract, and keywords, narrowing it down to 40 papers. And in stage two, we removed 20 duplicates. And in stage three, we applied the full text selection criteria, selecting 23 core papers. And after that, in stage four, we used a snowballing technique, examining references within those selected papers, and added 13 more. And also, in stage five, we consulted researcher groups and applied additional filtering, arriving at our final selection of 36 studies. So this rigorous process ensured that we included only the most relevant, high-quality literature to support our research framework. So this table summarizes 6 key studies we reviewed in depth. We analyzed them in terms of their objectives, the methodologies, and the limitations. So some studies focused on improving traditional university counseling services in Sri Lanka, and others addressed the ethical concerns in involving AI for healthcare applications or compared online versus traditional counseling. So several reviews examined trends in internet-based mental health services, and the role of AI in psychotherapy. So one important takeaway is that many studies lacked either real-world clinical data or long-term user feedback. Also, most research was either purely AI focused and assessing the online counseling systems, or only assess the current traditional counseling approach and its limitations and issues, but not the traditional counseling approach that can be enhanced by using artificial intelligence. So, this is the main gap that we identified, and it highlighted the need for a more integrated solution like ours. So moving on, this table summarizes what the studies in the literature review gave us. So the traditional counseling has limitations like limited time slots or maybe demographic mismatches and social stigma. And AI is being used in mental health through chatbots and predictive tools. So these have the health reduce depression and anxiety. Personality matching is also shown to improve engagement in therapy, and students are generally open to tech-based support, especially if the system is transparent and respects their privacy. So our work is unique because we combine personality-based matching with pre-session stress analysis using AI while preserving the human role in counseling. Which was also identified as one major component in counseling, because but was found through several research papers says that the face-to-face counseling was more effective than online counseling. So uh, yeah. Then moving on to the research objectives. So this study has three key goals. First, to see how students respond to AI-supported counseling, and then to check if it's technically possible to build a system that can match personalities, and like if we could build a prototype of it, and also which machine learning approach can be used to assess students' stress levels accurately, and also to figure out which lifestyle factors would most influence student stress levels. So this diagram summarizes the research methodology that we used. So we used a combination of technical development and student surveys. So the study involved 6 major phases. In phase 1, the research gaps were identified and the research objectives were defined, and a separate research was done on which personality traits should be considered when matching the students with the counselors. And yeah, those things were done in phase 1. And in phase 2, we planned the questionnaire, segmented it to gather the student views and responses on using artificial intelligence to enhance the existing traditional counseling approach. And in phase 3, uh, student responses were gathered through the planned cross-sectional survey. And in phase 4, different analysis methods like descriptive analytic methods and inferential analytics methods were used to analyze the gathered data, and also Minitab was used for this purpose. Uh, so since we received a positive response from students overall stating that they were willing to uh, try an AI-enhanced counseling approach. Therefore, in phase 5, we developed a working prototype of the personality matching model using Python and SQLite, and also several ML models were compared to decide which ML model would provide the most accurate results for the student stress level assessments. And also in phase 5, we received student feedback on the personality matching prototype, and finally in phase 6, we concluded the study with future research suggestions and also the discussion and overall conclusion of the study. Uh, when it comes to the research approach, so in this study, we used a mixed methods approach that combined the technical development with user analysis. First, we conducted a quantitative survey with 98 Sri Lankan undergraduate students to understand their acceptance of AI in counseling. And then we moved into technical development, where we built and tested a prototype that uses a rule-based system to match the students with suitable counselors based on personality. And also, we compared 3 machine learning models to select the best model to assess the students' stress levels accurately. So when it comes to the personality matching system, so our system uses a 5-dimension personality model including traits like empathy, openness, introversion, extroversion, emotional stability, and cultural sensitivity. So each student would answer a short questionnaire, and we process the results using Python and Python and Pandas to create personality profiles. So we apply weighted trait matching where the empathy is given the highest weight, 25%, because it's crucial for building trust in counseling between the counselor and the student. So to measure compatibility between students and counselors, we use a nonlinear similarity function that better reflects how personality differences impact real relationships. The whole system is implemented using Python and Kinter for the interface, and Python and Kinter for the interface, and SQLite for storing profiles. So this rule-based system was developed uh, to be fast and interpretable and practical for university use. Um, Moving on, to implement the matching system, we used NumPy actually for accurate trait weighing, giving the highest importance of 25% weight to empathy, because it is critical for building a strong counseling connection. And the user interface was developed with Python and Kinter, making the prototype easy to use. And also we used SQLite as our database to store important data like student personality traits and counselor profiles, match history, and session outcomes kind of things. So once the system was implemented, once the prototype was complete, we tested it with a group of students. And then when it comes to the stress assessment models, so this is the data set that was used in training the three models for assessing student stress levels. So this data set has got 2,000 student records, including columns like study hours, sleep, exercise, GPA, and extracurricular hours per day, sleep hours per day, social hours per day, and physical activity hours per day. To predict student stress levels, we developed and compared three machine learning models. So the first one is a decision tree, which gives us a clear view of how um, different lifestyle factors would influence stress in students. Next, we used a random forest classifier, which is an ensemble of decision trees. This model performed best, achieving 95.2% accuracy, especially strong in identifying students with high stress. So we also built a neural network regression model using PyTorch to predict stress on a continuous scale. So it showed great regression accuracy, but was slightly less effective after we categorize the results and compare it. So these were the three models that we compared, that we developed and compared to identify which model is the best for accurately predicting student stress levels. Yeah, and also before training, we followed a proper data pre-processing pipeline, which included standardizing features and encoding stress labels and splitting the dataset into training and testing sets while keeping the class balance. Altogether, this helped us identify key stress predictors as well, which can guide personalized counseling. So we trained the models using an 80-20 train test split and evaluated them using confusion matrices and classification reports from scikit-learn. To ensure thorough validation, we used accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score as key metrics. And also visualizations were created using matplotlib and Seaborn to better understand the model performance. So when it comes to the results of the study, from our analysis of current counseling practices, we confirmed there were several recurring problems. So students are concerned about privacy. They don't feel comfortable with current systems for counseling. And they feel like they are not well matched with their counselors. Like there are personality differences. Would they understand us kind of concerns? So this creates a clear need for a more personalized and modern solution that can encourage the students to seek help. So our survey showed promising results. So most students liked the idea of being matched with a counselor based on personality. So and we received an average comfort score of 3.94 out of 5. Um, yeah, and then after that, 80% of students said they were interested in using an AI-based counseling system, and surprisingly, 84.62% uh, of students who valued privacy the most were actually supportive towards the AI enhanced approach, as shown through this chi-square comparison. And we also found that when students felt the match was right, like they were correctly matched with the counselor, they were more open during sessions. So this is backed up by this cross-tabulation of personality matching and student counseling experience, which confirmed the link between good matches with the counselor and also how it improved the counseling experience. And then, so this box plot comparison shows the impact of conducting stress assessments before a counseling session. Also demonstrates that students showed a significant interest and trusted that a short stress assessment before the counseling session would actually help both the counselor and the student and to prepare better for the counseling session. So when it comes to the technical performance, here it comes to the machine learning models that we compared to assess which one was the best for assessing student stress levels accurately. And here in the among the three models, the random forest model performed the best. It had, so as you can see in the comparison below, it had a 95.2% accuracy rate and especially did well at identifying students with high stress levels. So as shown in this perfect confusion matrix of the random forest classifier, it performed better than the other models with 208 accurate predictions. Accurate predictions for stress. And then moving on to this in our survey results. So, sorry, not in the ML model analytics. So we also found the most important features for predicting stress were actually study hours, sleep hours, and physical activity. So these were consistent across all the three models. And yeah, then moving on. So this slide shows few screenshots of the personality matching prototype we created for this study. So how it assesses the different traits we use to compare the student with the counselor and then come up with the, as you can see, come up with this uh, final conclusion to the student that this person is the best one for you, kind of. This person is the best counselor that we can recommend for you. So, yeah. Then, when we tested the system, after we developed the prototype for personality matching, we tested the system with a sample group of students and they gave us very positive feedback. So 86.7% found the interface was easy to use and 93.3% appreciated knowing how the system made matches and 73.3% of them said that they would be more willing to go to counseling with a system like this in place. And then moving on to the discussion. So our findings offer several important contributions. First, the system actually strengthens the counseling relationship and does not replace it by matching students with counselors who are more psychologically compatible. Second, we discovered a surprising technology acceptance reversal because students who cared more about privacy were also actually more likely to accept this AI enhanced counseling system. Third, our stress prediction models consistently identified the same key factors causing stress: study hours, sleep, and physical activity across all the three machine learning models that we assessed. And then finally, we validated that this hybrid AI human approach for counseling really works in a university context, both technically and in terms of user trust. So when it comes to the practical implications, our results showed that the random forest model gave the best performance for predicting student stress levels accurately, especially in identifying high stress level students. And one key finding is that students highly valued transparency. They want to understand how the system matched them with the counselor, and this transparency actually built the trust, and especially among those who concerned about privacy. So interestingly, privacy wasn't a barrier. In fact, students who cared more about privacy would also accept this hybrid approach. Finally, this system can help universities act early by identifying major stress triggers in students and also allowing them to offer targeted support, personalized support for students before problems escalate. In the future, we plan to make the system smarter by using adaptive algorithms, which means collecting feedback from actual counseling sessions to improve how students are matched with counselors over time. We also aim to add multimodal stress detection using additional data like academic performance and text responses and also even mobile activity to get a more accurate view of a students' stress levels. Lastly, we recognize the importance of culture, so we'll focus on cross cultural adaptation, understanding how personality and stress would vary across different backgrounds to make the system more inclusive and effective beyond Sri Lanka. These improvements will help us create a more personalized, ethical, and scalable AI enhanced counseling solution for universities. And also, we aim to add stronger privacy protections, especially by building an alert system that warns the counselors when a stress prediction might be quite uncertain or where so that the human judgment can take over instead when needed. We also plan to expand the usability testing with more diverse student groups representing different cultural and social backgrounds. And this will include open ended surveys and interviews to gather in depth feedback beyond just numbers. These improvements will help us make the system more ethical, more accurate, and widely accepted in real world university settings. So these are some of the references we used in our research, and a full list is available in our CamReady paper if you'd like to explore more. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this gave you some insights into how AI can be meaningfully support traditional student counseling. Thank you.